The story starts with a group of scientists and soldiers who are sent on a dangerous mission to a strange island. Now we see a helicopter pilot who is present on the same mysterious island. Suddenly he heard a sound, a faint whisper and the sound of footsteps. Out of fear, he took out his gun and moved towards the sound, but suddenly he saw a gun on the ground. But it was not a common gun. It was exactly like his own gun. Exactly the same model. The markings on his gun were the same. The same markings and the same number. He became frightened as soon as he saw that it was the same gun. But before he got a chance to think, suddenly someone came from behind and killed him brutally. The man who attacked was also wearing exactly the same clothes as Pilot. He picked up the pilot's bag and ran towards the helicopter, and quickly flew the helicopter. But as soon as the helicopter flew in the sky, it collided with an invisible wall. The truth was that this entire island was surrounded by a tremendous energy ring. And because of this, the helicopter burns down in a ball of fire and no one can go out from here. The story goes back a little in time and now we are in the city of San Francisco. Let's meet an ex-military woman named Addison. She came here to meet a man named Cheese. Addison wanted to recruit him for a very dangerous mission. Addison told Chase that we know everything about you. You were earlier in the army but were thrown out after failing in a mission. Even your name has been erased from government papers. As if he never existed in this world, and this was the reason why Addison wanted to include him with her. Her company was looking for such people who did not even exist on paper. Well, Cheese asked what the mission was. Then Addison told that you have to go to a mysterious island. Your only task will be to bring back Stacy, the daughter of the company owner. In return, you will get crores of rupees. So much money that you can easily eat bats for the rest of your life. On hearing this, Chase was surprised that if he had to just go to an island and bring someone back, why so much money? But he did not ask more questions. He was in great need of money, so he said yes. After this, Edison found his second partner whose name was Rusk. Rusk was a brilliant detective and a master of martial arts. But his story was a very painful one. His entire family had died in an accident. And from that day forward he took only the most dangerous missions. When Edison told him about the money and the mission, Rusk also agreed to accompany him. Then the next day the entire team gathered at a private airbase. Now Edison had a team of 6 people, which included Chase and Rusk. Edison started explaining the mission to everyone. He said that there are 2 research centers on that island. One in the north and one in the south. We will land in the middle of the island by helicopter and then we will be divided into 2 teams. And we'll search at both the places. The south team was composed of Addison, Chase and Dex, while the north team was composed of Rusk and Colt, who knew how to operate heavy killers. And then Tag, who was a genius with machines and drones, did not know which center Stacy was kept in. So both teams were going to find her in their respective places. As soon as Stacy is found, everyone will meet back at the helicopter at the point in the middle of the island. Then we see that before the mission started, Tag was sitting alone looking at a picture of his daughter. His wife was dead and his daughter had become his entire world. But now that daughter was fighting a terrible disease. Her treatment was very expensive and Tag did not have that much money. So he accepted this mission. He was doing all this for his daughter only. After some time, when the people of the entire team were sitting together, a very strange thing came to light during the conversation. All of them had no one left. Thinking that mother would not have her life with her and no one else would wait for her, a question started rising in everyone's mind whether this was just a coincidence. This company has deliberately selected only those people who have nothing to lose. Within a short time, everyone boarded the helicopter and flew towards that mysterious island. They had reached there after a long flight of 15 hours. As soon as the helicopter touched the ground, the team moved in 2 parts as per the plan. Addison, Chase and Deke started heading south. But as soon as they went a little distance, their steps stopped because what was in front of them was heart-wrenching. There were many dead bodies scattered on the ground. People had been killed as if they had been torn to pieces by some wild beast. All 3 prepared their weapons and started moving forward carefully. Edison immediately took out the radio to warn the other team, but no reply came. The radio was completely off. Dex immediately took out his diary and whenever someone woke up and felt bad, he would make a note of everything, and this island was looking more dangerous every moment. On the other hand, Rusk, Tag and Court were moving towards the north in the forest. When Rusk's eyes fell on a rope which was tied to a tree. It looked very old. But looking at its knot, he felt something very strange. Rusk said, "I feel that I had tied it earlier, but he himself had taken care of it. How could this happen?" and moved ahead. Within a short time their radio also stopped. Now both the teams were not able to have any contact with each other, whereas in the south, Ederson's team was finding more dead bodies. No one knew how they died. Then after walking a little further, they found an empty camp. Ederson installed his portable signal booster there and tried again, but still no connection was made. But at the same time Dex found something more surprising. He took off a watch from a dead body, and as soon as he looked at it his complexion turned pale. It was exactly the same watch as the one he was wearing. Same brand, same design, same scratches, but how could this happen? Chase said that it could be just a coincidence. "Don't think too much, brother. The body's structure was so disfigured that it was impossible to identify it. Perhaps some animal might have attacked." When both the teams were searching the island on their respective sides, they had asked the pilot to stay near the helicopter, but suddenly he started hearing strange sounds in the forest, and now we have reached the place from where the story begins. The person who came to attack the pilot was not a common man, but was a changed, mutated human being who was transformed into a beast by some strange force on this island. After killing the pilot, the changed man tried to escape in a helicopter. But as soon as the helicopter took off in the air and started going up, it collided with an invisible wall and exploded with a loud bang. This incident proved that no one can escape from this island. Tag and Dex suddenly heard a sound near the camp. When they went to look, their eyes were wide open. There was a man standing alive in front of them. He told his name as Dr. Young. He told that he had come here this morning with his research team, but when they reached the island, everything was already destroyed. His team members were killed one by some unknown entity. Hearing this, Ederson and the others were surprised. Ederson said that no other team was to come here before us, but Dr. Young remained adamant on his point. Then they asked him about Stacy, the same girl whom he had come here to save. As soon as he heard the name of Stacy, Dr. Young's face changed and he gently asked them to come with him. He took them to a lonely building in the middle of the forest. There, a dead body was lying on the ground. Her face was badly disfigured. "This girl is Stacy. That is, she was already dead." Seeing this scene, everyone was stunned. The person whom they had come here to save had been dead for a long time. Ederson slowly looked at everyone else and asked whether we would get the money now, but no one had any answer. After thinking a little, they decided that they would take Stacy's body with them, so that there is some evidence. It was night and the way to the helicopter was quite far. Therefore, they decided to spend the night in the camp there and leave in the morning. Still, he was not able to make any contact with the other team, so that they can be told that the mission has been accomplished. Here Dr. Young was feeling a little relieved and said that at least when I am not alone, I will leave from here with you all. But then another strange thing happened. Dex was writing something in his diary when suddenly Dr. Young saw him and said that I have seen this before also. He opened his back and took out the diary from it. It was exactly like Dex's diary. Same cover, same marks, same handwriting. Everyone was surprised to see this, but the most scary thing came to light when they looked inside that diary. It had written on it the events of the next day which had not even happened yet, and that too in Dex's handwriting. At that very moment, Dex's head started spinning and he said, "I have come here only today. How can all this be written?" But there was no answer to this question. This island was becoming more mysterious and terrifying with every hour. Meanwhile, on the other side of the island, we see that Rusk, Colt and Tag had also decided to stay for the night. They lit a fire and kept their weapons nearby and began to rest. Just then a strange sound came from the dark forest. All three immediately lost their composure and took up their guns. Then suddenly something grabbed the Tag from behind and started dragging it. Tag tried to escape, and when he turned around, there was a very big scary beast in front of him. Then the dog understood who had torn apart the dead bodies he had seen. Now the beast was about to raise its claws and kill the dog. But at that moment, Rusk reached in time, and by firing a shot, he pushed the animal back, due to which the Tag was saved. But the danger was also not averted, as Soon as Rusk brought the tag to a standstill, so Colt was left alone a few steps away when suddenly another predator appeared and attacked him. But this predator was even more terrifying because it looked exactly like Colt. Same face, same clothes. Before Colt could understand anything, his impersonator stabbed him to death. Russ and Tag listened and watched all this. Now the questions started swirling. Where did this second form of Colt come from? Who were these predators and why are fake forms of people, diaries, watches and stuff being found on this island? It was clear that something was going very wrong here. On the other hand, Addison's team was reading Dex's second diary, the same diary which was telling about the future, in which it was written that Stacy, who was found dead yesterday, will be alive in the next 3 days. It seemed impossible to everyone, but when morning came, Stacy was still alive, breathing and talking. On seeing this, Addison and everyone else was shocked. They had seen her dead body with their own eyes. She was dead, but now there was not a single injury mark on her body. On the other side of the island, Rusk and Tag had reached North Camp. The place was completely empty. Things were scattered all around, but there was no sign of life. Then Rusk tried to use the camp's old walkie-talkie. This time luck was on his side, because there was a second walkie-talkie in Addison's camp, and finally both the teams talked to each other. Rusk told that there are very strange people on this island. By Durande, something terrible has happened here, and last night one such beast attacked and killed Colt, and these beasts, whatever you say, look exactly like us. Addison also told a surprising thing from her side. He said that they had found Stacy dead yesterday, but today, good morning, she was alive. Now both the team understood that this island was more dangerous and strange than they thought. Stacy was sitting with Deeks outside the tent, recounting her memories. She said that she had come here 3 days ago with her research team. One of their experiments had gone wrong. People started changing and attacking each other. They wanted to run away but found out that they were trapped. The truth was that no one can leave this island. Then Dex asked, "How did you survive?" So upon hearing this, Stacy's eyes lit up. She said softly that she had not survived. A beast had killed him last night. He remembers everything well. But Supa suddenly woke up alive. Even she herself doesn't know how all this happened. On the other hand, inside the camp, Dr. Young had quietly read Dex's diary. After reading everything, he turned to Addison and everyone else. His face was very serious. He said that I understood what was happening on this island. On hearing this, everyone gathered around him. Dr. Young took a deep breath and began to speak. He said that this island is full of wormholes. That is, some such holes made by tearing the fabric of space-time, through which one can go forward and backward in time. That is why time does not move normally here. Here the time continued for 72 hours, i.e. 3 days. After that, everything starts again and again. We are stuck in a kind of time loop. Everyone was shocked to hear this. Dr. Young further explained that every time this cycle starts again, some things from the previous cycle come into the next cycle. So they got the extra watch, this diary of the future, and the rope that Rusk thought he had tied. All these things had left their old forms. Now everyone understood that he had been here before. And that too not even once. Every 3 days, Edison and his team reach the island again, thinking that he has come here for the first time. But in reality it was not so. They were all trapped in time. On this, Chase asked in a nervous voice, "Then where were the rest of their forms?" Dr. Young narrowed his eyes and said that most of them are dead. I have seen their dead bodies. The faces of those who were scattered all over the island were distorted so that no one could identify them. But after hearing the truth that they were all of you, everyone became silent. Now Dr. Young went on to say that not all the people died, but some were changed by the power of this island. According to this, any person who stays on this island for more than 3 days loses his mind, body and consciousness. This means that the beasts you were fighting with were you and your old form. Then Dex said in a trembling voice that this whole island is trapped in an affair. And now all of us too. Then suddenly they heard the sound of growling, squeak and footsteps. Actually, a crowd of beasts was moving towards them from the forest and they were surrounding the camp. On the other hand, Rasak and Tag were listening to Dr. Young on the radio when they too were attacked by the brutes. Dex's diary from the future was coming true. It was quite strange to have to fight Roop with one's own quirks, but they have no other. So they fought, while Addison's team was also attacked by the beasts. While Chase froze for a moment because he could not fire at a person who looked like him. Then Addison reminded him that he was not you. We have to live. Ultimately, he killed those evil beasts by aiming at their heads. The Rusko tags were also still left, but most of his bullets had been exhausted, and they thought that this was just autumn. On the other hand, the situation in the camp became worse. Stacy, whom they thought was saved, suddenly started changing her appearance. She too had been affected by the experiment. Suddenly he attacked Dex. Chase also shot at him, but it was too late. Dex was killed in this attack. Till the end of the day they kept fighting for hours just to stay alive. Eventually Rusk contacted the company's base outside the island. He told that the helicopter has been destroyed, and also said that Stacy is still alive. So that the company sent the rescue team, but they did not know that the company already knew everything. They knew that Stacy was dead. He knew that this island was stuck in a 3-day time loop, and he deliberately sent the team there so that they could use it for their experiments. For this reason, such people were chosen who had no one to cry after, so that no one would even come looking for them. Then another horrifying truth is revealed at the company's secret base. Now in just 12 hours the company was going to drop bombs on the entire island so that these dangerous changes would never reach the outside world. Now only 5 people were left alive, and they would have to somehow escape alive before the island is destroyed. Now Rusk and Tag told everything to Edison, Chase and Dr. Young through radio. But now the biggest problem was that his helicopter had been destroyed. When everyone started giving up hope, suddenly Raz remembered something strange. Since coming to the island, he has been seeing things that never happened. He thought that this was an illusion of his mind, but now he had understood the truth because time is flowing in reverse on this island. Hence he was able to see the memories of the future. In one of these memories, he saw a small boat hidden on the shore of the island, which is their last way out of here. Then as soon as dawn came, both the teams started moving towards the spot where Rusk had seen the boat. Edison's team was closer, so he reached there first and waited for Rusk and Tag. Dr. Young checked him and told him that the fuel tank was full, and if there was no storm at sea, we could reach the city, but Rusk and Tag were still far away. They were moving forward fighting the beasts. Their bullets were almost exhausted and they were very tired from fighting continuously. So now he had to contend with his own more powerful transformed form. Despite fighting bravely, Tak was eventually killed by his own transformed form. With a full heart, Rusk promised that if he survived, he would definitely find Tag's daughter and protect her. But then another terrible blow came. In fact, a changed form of Rusk also appeared. The one who had the gun pointed in his hand. It seemed that the game was over. Then Chase came from behind and he saved Rusk's life by shooting the mutant. But while running away, Rusk stepped on a trap, due to which a sharp wooden pole passed through his stomach. Now he was so badly injured that even Hal was unable to heal. At that moment, 12 hours passed and suddenly bombs started exploding all over the island. Rusk had understood that he would not be able to survive. He looked at Chase and said, "Brother, save yourself." Hearing this, with a heavy heart Chase gave his gun to Rusk, and after saying goodbye he ran towards Now. This was his last chance. While Dr. Young was watching the bombs falling all over the island, he turned to Addison and said that they had to leave now. They couldn't wait for the chase. But Addison flatly refused. She was not ready to go anywhere without Chase and Russ. Then, helpless, Dr. Young made Edison unconscious and started rowing the boat alone. But then suddenly Chase also reached the shore. At that very moment he jumped with all his strength and caught hold of the rope tied behind Now. Then Addison also came to her senses, and what she saw was very horrifying. Actually, now Dr. Young started changing. He had been on Tak Island for most of the time, and as soon as 3 days were over, his appearance started changing. His eyes were shining and his face was contorted. Suddenly he pounces on Addison to kill him. At that very moment, the sound of one lost bullet rang out. It was none other than Rusk. He saved Edison's life by firing that lost bullet from the burning island with his last breaths, and then the next moment he was killed in the explosion. Now only Chase and Edison were left in that boat. They were alive but surrounded by fire and destruction. They did not know whether they would be able to survive or not. They passed through the same place where the helicopter was destroyed, but perhaps due to the explosion on this island, the wormhole was shaken and for a few moments a safe path opened, through which Chase